1923's Alex star on her fight-or-flight response to tougher second season. Yellowstone enthusiasts were thrilled to see the prequel 1923 return to the Paramount Network and Paramount Plus in February. In the latest series, we follow Alex, portrayed by Julia Schlapfer, as she embarks on a voyage by ship, hoping to reunite with her husband Spencer Dutton, Brandon Sklenar, in Montana. However, Alex isn't making the journey solo. She confided to her best mate in the premiere that she's expecting Spencer's baby. This revelation brings both solace and concern for Alex, who now faces the extra task of protecting her unborn child. Chatting with the Mirror US, Julia Schlapfer shared insights into how filming for the second season was a complete, polar opposite to the first. She confessed that this season's shoot was far more challenging due to its intense narrative. She divulged, "In season 1 we were filming a love story. We were running around in the sunshine in Africa, traveling the world. We had each other to rely on and bounce ideas off of. This season we were all pretty isolated, and it's a tougher season in terms of content. And in many ways that was very helpful as an actor, because you are stripped of the people that you relied on. You just have to figure out how to do it on your own and take care of yourself. And again, it's not an easy breezy love story this season." She opened up about the hurdles she faced, highlighting that despite the challenges, it became a transformative experience for her acting career. "It was helpful because mentally you are going through a lot, but I learned a lot as an actor about how to take care of myself and mentally make sure I was staying healthy and good." She expressed a deep bond with the crew, saying, "The crew on our show truly became my family. They are the best people in the world. They are so good at their jobs. And on those really long, hard days, we only had each other, so they made this experience so special." She shared insights into her days off, which were centered around self-care and therapy, adding, "I would take boxing classes to get physical tension out because your body doesn't know the difference between what is real or fake. My body was just in fight or flight mode, so it was helpful to get that out a little bit." Discussing her character Alex's intense plotlines, she revealed how they became invaluable learning moments. "One of the first days on set, I thought I was going to stay in that mental headspace all day and kind of live in that pain. And then I was like, oh, I don't think this is helpful for me, nor is it good for me, and I found it was much better to balance it. As soon as they yell cut, I'm laughing with the crew and having a good time and taking myself out of it and remembering it's acting." The rolling hills of Montana stretched endlessly before her, a sight that had once felt so foreign and exhilarating, but now carried a weight heavier than she ever imagined. Alexandra had always been a fighter, that much was certain. But nothing could have prepared her for the whirlwind of survival, love, and loss that 1923 had thrown her way. And now, with the second season looming, the stakes had never felt higher. Reflecting on her journey, Alex sat at the edge of the rugged Dutton homestead, watching the golden hues of dawn paint the horizon. The first season had been a baptism by fire, a test of endurance and spirit, as she navigated the treacherous landscape of both the American West and her own heart. Now, as the cameras prepared to roll again, the fear creeping into her bones was not of the scripted battles, but of the one she would fight within herself. The first season felt like a leap of faith, she murmured to herself, the chill of the morning seeping into her skin. But this feels like war. When she had first stepped into the role of Alexandra, a woman swept up in a grand and unexpected romance with Spencer Dutton, she had not anticipated the depth of transformation it would demand. She had arrived on set with wide eyes and a heart full of hope, eager to embrace the wild, untamed spirit of the 1920s frontier. And embrace it she did, through sweeping landscapes, near-death experiences, and the undeniable chemistry that ignited between Alex and Spencer. But now, as the story deepened, so did the challenges. "There's a moment," she explained in an interview, her voice steady but charged with emotion, "where you have to decide if you're going to run or if you're going to stand your ground." Last season, Alex ran towards adventure, towards love. But now she has to fight. And fight she would. The second season promised a darker, grittier reality, one that would test every ounce of Alex's resolve. The world had changed since she first left the comforts of her aristocratic life behind, and so had she. The woman who had once been swept away by the romance of the unknown was now hardened by the unforgiving realities of survival. The question loomed, would she be able to endure the fire ahead? Rumors swirled about the trials awaiting Alex in Season 2. Would she reunite with Spencer? Would she be forced to carve out her place in the harsh terrain of Montana, where love alone wasn't enough to protect one's claim? Would she, after all she had sacrificed, still be the same woman who had once chosen love over privilege? These were the questions that haunted her as she stepped back into the boots of Alexandra Dutton. The weight of it all was suffocating at times. The grandeur of the Yellowstone universe, the legacy of the Dutton name, it was a responsibility she carried with equal parts pride and trepidation. "It's easy to romanticize strength," she admitted in a quiet moment between takes. "But real strength is looking fear in the face and choosing to fight anyway." She had always known there would be no easy path for Alex and Spencer. Love in 1923 was never simply about stolen kisses under a Montana sunset. It was about clawing one's way through the darkness, about bleeding for a future that wasn't guaranteed. If the first season had been a fairy tale dipped in grit, the second would be a battle drenched in blood, sweat, and tears. And Alex? She wasn't sure which instinct was winning, the fight or the flight. Every day on set was a test of endurance, not just for her character, but for herself. The cold, the exhaustion, the relentless emotional toll, it pushed her to the brink. But it was in those moments, in the chaos of gunfire and the quiet agony of longing, that she found something she hadn't expected. She found herself. "I used to think the hardest part of this role was the physicality," she said, brushing a strand of hair from her face after a grueling day of filming. "The running, the stunts, the sheer brutality of it. But the truth, the hardest part is letting yourself break, completely and utterly, because that's the only way to rebuild." Season 2 would break Alex in ways she couldn't yet fathom. It would strip away the last remnants of the woman who had once danced freely under the African sun, replacing her with someone raw, someone forged by hardship. But would it also give her the strength to survive? Only time would tell. As the sun rose higher over the vast, unforgiving land, Alex inhaled deeply, grounding herself. She wasn't just playing a role. She was stepping into the storm, into the fire, into the heart of a story that demanded everything. And whether she ran or whether she fought, one thing was certain. The Dutton legacy was not built on weakness, and neither was she.